Despite over 400 people being detained, anti-government protests continue in Georgia. Security forces are using tear gas, water cannons, and batons against the protesters. Tens of thousands of Georgian citizens are protesting against the actions of the pro-Russian ruling party. Georgian Dream has blocked the country's European integration efforts.
Here for a very simple reason: to defend my European future and the democracy of my country. We've attended elections, it was clearly rigged, and we've done everything in our power so far to show that we desire a European future.
Very simple reason. It's just the fact that my country deserves to be free from the Russian regime that has haunted us for many centuries. And I believe that we need to get into Europe.
Voter bribery, manipulation during the election campaign, and threats of bombings at polling stations. Russia's active involvement in hybrid operations is evidenced by the elections in Moldova. In neighboring Romania, there were also reports of Russian interference in the election process. Therefore, the far-right candidate Călin Georgescu unexpectedly won the first round of the presidential election, gathering 23% of the votes, despite the pre-election polls showing his support was no more than 10%. After the state's security services uncovered a large-scale disinformation campaign on social media supporting Georgescu, which was attributed to Russia, Romania's constitutional court annulled the results of the election.
There is evidence that Russia attempted to use its tools to promote Georgescu, but we don't yet know if there was direct coordination between his campaign and Moscow. It can't be said that everything happened in our society. All the discontent and anger is solely the result of Russian hybrid tactics. Russia exploits the vulnerabilities of our democracies using the peculiarities of social media. Costin Ciobanu, political analyst, employee of Aarhus University, in an interview with Voice of America.
The modern methods of determining whether elections can be considered free and fair are outdated. They do not take into account the new technologies used to influence elections, says the head of the European diplomacy, Kaja Kallas.
I see the examples from Romania, but also other parts, that the Russians have really cracked the code on how to influence elections. Democracy is based on trust, and if you can't trust elections anymore, then how can you trust the outcome? Kaja Kallas, EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, from a speech at Politico P28.
The Russian Federation continues its hybrid aggression in many countries, from Western Europe to the Baltic states. Moscow is involved in hundreds of incidents across Europe that are classified as hybrid attacks, espionage, sabotage, or influence operations. Ukraine's foreign minister has called on European governments and societies to unite in resisting Russian influence.
Ukraine has extensive experience in countering various hybrid threats from Russia, ranging from cyber attacks to misinformation campaigns and acts of sabotage. We are ready to share our best knowledge and expertise with our European partners to help maintain stable democratic development. Andriy Sabiha, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, on social media X.
To defend against hybrid attacks and protect Europe, according to the head of Ukraine's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a number of urgent steps need to be taken, namely fully blocking Russian propaganda, strengthening police and counterintelligence efforts, enhancing cyber defense, and tightening Schengen visa policies for citizens of the aggressive state. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Valeria Nekapelova, UATV News.